Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inera Random Talk. I'm Aja. I hope you're doing wonderful today. So, I wanted to talk to you about guilt. Whew. Okay. This is a heavy subject. And when I thought about talking about guilt, something came to mind. I think this is going to be for people who just feel guilty because they feel like they abandoned someone or left someone behind, and and they feel like because they were protecting themselves, they left someone they care about behind or away. And this is going to be specifically for you. Now, that person might be still alive or not, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that because I have a personal connection with this. Now, I won't go into too much details because I didn't share that channel with people close to me, but the internet being what it is and connection with divine consciousness being what it is, people who just are close to me and know my story might find this video, and I don't want to share anyone in my family or whatever. So I'm just gonna be very light on specific details. Now, I just grew up in a family which um I didn't have a uh, how can I say that? Compared to other people, I have a I would say a relatively normal childhood. There's two things that were very specific to my family is that I have a parental figure, let's call him that way, uh, w- around which who I grew up with fear. Um, like I said, it's just in Africa in general, you are raised to respect your elders, respect people that came before you. And I'm not saying it's everywhere in Africa, but most Africans will probably relate to that. I think Asia functions the same way. Other parts as well. I'm not saying it's specifically those two continents, but yeah, I grew up with fear, and in the African education, I believe there's a confusion made between fear and authority. Those concepts are very different. So, having your child, your nephew, or your sister, or whatever, fear you is not the same thing as this person respecting your authority. It's not the same thing. And I grew up with fear. Um, so I always had a mom that was very. I believe I connected really with my mom when I was a teenager. I believe that's when I started to understand what she was really going through within the family. And before that, I was seeing things, but I was kind of oblivious. And for the last year of my teenage years, we became really close. And I was talking to her all the time, even when I moved to France for my studies and for my adult life, because for personal reasons. But yeah, I won't go into details in there. But we were really close, and she starting developing a condition where she had m- memories lapse. She would forget or confuse dates, but it was still okay. then she completely lost everything. She I can't even tell you when the exact moment where it started. I just started remembering that she was sometimes I would talk to her and I would not really understand what she's saying. Now, I've been away because of the family situation and because I was protecting myself. And because I was also struggling at one point financially and, moving to Africa, buying the plane tickets and having money to sustain myself. And when you go to Africa, when you are away and you go back to family, and there's part of your family that are struggling financially, you just can't go back empty-handed. People are just gonna come to you and say, "Okay, I have these issues. Can you help me?" Because they believe that if you live in in Europe or whatever, they believe that you have unlimited financial means. They just don't understand when you say I can't. Just they just don't get it. What are you doing with your money? Just I mean, if I look at the exchange rates, it's you should be you were in a better position than me. Yeah, well, the cost of living is not the same at the same time. Well, anyway, so I spent years not going back because of several reasons, because of financial reason, but also because of the family situation, and I just wanted to protect myself, and I want to be away. Like I said, I grew up in a family where religion, faith was something that was really important, and I felt disconnected for it for years, and having people try to force me to get into a specific faith or making sniding comments saying that I just don't pray or I just don't do this and I just didn't want to deal with it. I was already trying to build my life and it was so hard. And when my mom started getting sick, um the connection that I had with her were was severed in a way because now to get in contact with her, I don't have a choice but to go through someone else. It's kind of like she's in a hostage situation. And and I feel like I've given up and I kind of abandoned her because it's been years where I didn't go back. Now I just can't afford it, obviously, but at the same time, I mean, there's a lot of people who just do what they have to do, to go back. And I just feel like the more I move on, I'm like, there's a guilt, a deep guilt inside. It's better now because I had a lot of dreams and a lot of insights that helped me a lot. I started remembering stuff that my mom's used to tell me, and it just it just helped me a lot because I remember she used to tell me, you don't have to shoulder all my life or all my mistakes or everything that is happening to me because I used to do that when I was a teenager. Everything that was going on at home, domestic violence or stuff like that, and I used to take that upon myself. When I started being conscious of those stuff around me, because obviously parents they try to hide things to their children, but they don't really understand that whatever efforts you make, your children are going to be aware of what's going on. Even if you don't do it in front of them, they're going to feel it. We are not only physical beings, we are spiritual beings, we are divine consciousness, though. So there's a lot of things we feel with our emotions, and those things you can do whatever you want, you're not going to be able to hide it, especially from children. They just feel so many things. Um, Sometimes they don't recognize it or they don't know how to label it, but they understand and they see it. And when we grew up, we understand that we felt a lot of stuff, and I felt a lot of stuff that was going on. I didn't know what it was until I, you know, became a teenager, and I had more experience in life, and I started seeing things for what it was. And I knew my mom went through a lot of stuff, and now that I'm not sure she even recognized me anymore. Like I said, I can't because she doesn't have her phone anymore. Someone else has her phone, and when I want to reach her, I need to call through that phone, and I would it won't be a private conversation, and it would last 20, 30 seconds because I would try to talk to her, but she's not responsive, and she we made a lot of medical. My brother is there, so he made a lot of medical exam, and we thought it was Alzheimer at one point, but it's not, and it it may be dementia. I don't know. Ooh, this is heavy. This is heavy, but I need to do this. Okay, so she's at a point now where I felt for a while that I just abandoned her, and that I just didn't take care of her. Or mind you, for years when we were in contact and stuff like that, when I had a little bit of money, I would send to her. When was struggling, she would try to help me. We were just going back and forth like this until she was in that situation where I felt like she was hostage, and I knew at that point that if I anything that I send her, there was someone else that is going to take it and do something else with it, and so we try to function differently. But there's a lot of opposition. Let me say it like this. So yeah, so I'm away. I'm away, and like I said, I had a lot of guilt for years, feeling that I abandoned her, and I made some dreams, and I had some insights, and I remember one thing that my mom's told me, like I said before, you don't have to shoulder my life, and one phrase just broke me. I think it was a few weeks ago, and I remember her telling me that it's like I was hearing her voice in my head. It was really weird. It's like I was hearing her voice and said, "When you're happy, I'm happy. When you're not, I'm not." And man, that broke me. It really broke me because I was like, "Damn, and how do you want me to do that?" I mean, I just and at the same time, I was kind of upset at the. It's not kind of. I was upset at the moment because I was just like, what do you mean? You mean like I don't? Do I have to let you go? That's what you're telling me. How am I supposed to do that?" And at the same time, I understood within that the stress and the guilt I was carrying was calling forth more stress and more guilt for me. And it was just a vicious circle because I was just killing more and more. And And the thing that I understood within is that if I believe we create our reality, if I believe we came here with a contract of things to experiment, if I believe that nothing can really hurt us because we are infinite divine consciousness at our core. I'm not talking about physical body, okay? I'm talking about who we really are. We are energy. We just cannot be touched. Can't touch this, you know? So if I believe that, that means my mom is okay. She's really okay. Yes, she might be in a physical body, struggling or not really there or suffering from dementia or whatever else because we did so many tests and we had so many diagnostic that was contradictory every single time. I just don't know anymore. They told us so many things that I just don't understand. Um so yeah, I remember that and he helped me a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's still hard. But what I want to tell you about guilt is that it's weigh you down. That's pretty obvious, right? But I'm trying to find a way to express what I'm feeling right now because it's not word I have in my mind, but it's um it's a kind of a feeling I have to put into words. So bear with me. Guilt is first of all it's natural. It's not something that you need to feel guilty about feeling. That's more guilt. But it's something that needs to be very temporary. It needs to be very temporary because there's nothing that happens in your incarnation, in this life you're living in, that you didn't agree with before, and that the person or the people or the events involved didn't agree with as well. All the people involved in the situation where you feel guilt did agree to participate in this experience, and they're all safe. They might not be here anymore, but they're all safe. The core of who they are is safe. Okay? They're all safe. My mom is safe. The person you have in mind right now with the guilt in mind is safe. Okay? That person loves you. Whatever that person says, if that person is still alive or telling you stuff, that person at the core loves you. You're the same. But in this experience, you're playing roles. You're acting something, and this experience is there to show you something else. Help you experience something, help you. I don't like the word grow, but people use the word to grow. We don't really have to grow anything, you know. We are already at our maximum, you know. But yeah, I can use the word grow if that's no, I won't use that. It doesn't feel right. Um that experience of guilt is needs to be temporary, like I said before, first of all. But it also there as a wake up call, as a way for you to take the measure of what's happening right now and then move on to something else. You know, I believe a lot of things that happened to me during my life was in preparation of the message I've sent to you today. If I didn't go through everything that I went through, there's a lot of examples, personal experience that I would not have. and I will be a divine consciousness with only uh, theoretical knowledge of a concept. Yeah, I can look in the dictionary and find out what guilt is about. Yeah, I can do that. You can do that as well. But the experience of guilt is something else. Is it nice? No, it's not. But again, this experience, when you go through that and you work on letting it go, oh my God, the relief. It's like you experience the relief you experience afterwards is so amazing. You're like, if I didn't go through guilt before, I wouldn't know what that kind of relief would feel like, you know? So, yeah, no one is hurt, okay? I know it may seem like this in reality. I'm still thinking about my mom, thinking about the years where I didn't see her in person, but I still have her in my heart. I still think about her. Sometimes when it's not sometimes, it's a lot of time, but um, when I go to bed and I just talk to her, you know. Again, I'm not crazy. I just talk to her. Hey mom, how you doing? I think about you. I love you. You know. And sometimes I feel like she's saying, "Hey, my baby, are you okay? Keep going." You know. And I hear this. It's like I'm hearing her voice now. People with very logical mind would say, "Okay, you're making up a dialogue in your head. That's great." You know what? Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But yeah, I plan to go and see her as soon as I can. Anyway, but for now, I'm just after that relief, and that relief, that guilt is less heavier than it was before because of that insight and because of that belief that everybody is safe. Mom is safe. Everyone is safe. Yes, reality don't show that, but she's safe. She's okay. And she's proud of me and she wants me to be happy. That's something that I forgot. I was under the impression that my mom was disappointed in me and that she was angry at me and stuff like that. And this was in opposition to everything she always showed me. And it may seem like I'm trying to how can I say that? It may seem like I'm just trying to um absolve. I mean, that's a word. I'm not sure. Um, that I'm trying to make to feel like I'm not guilty here or that I didn't do anything wrong. You understand what I mean? I'm not sure. I just can't remember the verb anyway. So it may seem like that way, but it's not. I understand that I should have find a way to go back at one point to see her. She came here in France to see me, and we were in contact for a long time. This became impossible when she became very ill, and that's been years now that I didn't go back because of this family situation that's just eating me alive, and the fact that she's right in the middle and that she doesn't respond um or know people anymore, or just is completely lost. And I chose to believe on the insights that I got within, and the dreams that I had about her, where she was okay. And and yeah, that's what I want to tell you. If you're feeling like you left someone behind and that you're feeling guilty, know that everyone is safe. Nobody's hurt, not really. It may feel like this, but nobody's hurt. You can let go bit by bit, okay? I know it's not easy. I'm just in the thick of it, just like you, but you came here with unlimited amount of love in you and directing at you from everyone around you. All your cast, regardless of their behavior in this reality, loves you completely. Nobody hates you. And what you are doing is experiencing stuff, and you can turn things around. But even if you don't, you guilt is natural, but it's necessary just for you to acknowledge that it exists and that its opposite as exists as well. And feel free to let it go. Feel free to let it go, because the longer you keep it with you, the longer it's going to keep you down. Keep you down. So yeah, that was a pretty heavy episode for me, but I feel like there was some healing for me to experience um, with me sharing this for you with you. I didn't go into details. I might in the future, but for now, I feel like I was able to give you enough context without going into family issues too much. Um, so yeah, I love you, mom. Hopefully, you can experience what you came here to experience. Um, and I know I'm participating on your experience, and I hope you understand that I love you and that I never wish you any harm. And and I know you're safe. So yeah, hope your movie is going well. I would have liked you choose something else as a plot. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, but you do you, mom. You do you. Okay. Hopefully you took something from this episode. This was pretty heavy, but hopefully you had something for you in here. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. And as always, all my information, including my shop, is in the description. Um, so yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.